click on record. Okay, Mr. Abid Gulzar, I want you to start the discussion and then I will add some points. Yes, you can go on.
That's okay?
Yeah, everything is okay.
So the question that you asked me right now is about reading, okay? During my childhood, when I would go to school, I was not interested with the books. I really didn't allow them because at that very time I felt that the books don't give me anything. Am I slow or not?
You are
Today I'm trying to be slow.
You are pretty good audible. I mean, you are very slow. You are understood. You are understandable.
Thanks so much. Sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
At a time, I wanted to give up my reading, studying, writing, and so many other things that were quite attached with the school. Because during childhood, these books do not give you anything immediately. If you're going to suppose you are a child, if you're going to school, it would not give the reading, the books that you are reading there, that you're studying there, okay, the writing that you do there does not give you anything immediately. It does not yield the immediate results. You have to wait for a long time. You had to wait for some time to get the results. Okay, this was a kind of thing that had intruded upon me when I was a child. It was because of this thing I really didn't want to go to school. I like it fighting very much. I like it some hilarious activities to do. I like it something playful. I wanted to do so many things that would give me the pleasure. Okay, reading did not give me the pleasure. Studying did not give me the pleasure. I was fighting, it did give me the pleasure because I was imagining myself to be the actor of Bollywood hero. Okay, to be the actor of Bollywood movie.
Oh, great.
So these, it was only because of the pleasure issue that I really wanted to gear up reading and writing or something else. Okay, that's why I attached with school. But as I grew up, in my 10th class, till 10th class, I really didn't allow it all. I really didn't allow the schoolwork because of the reasons that I have just mentioned here. In the 10th class, it was my uncle who told me that if I get failed in this year, I would not be respected anymore in my society. I would not be given the respect by my parents too. Okay, then I started thinking that I must work hard. I must be a good student. I must be a persistent student. I must be constant with my books and with writing, with reading, and with the work of school. So it was my uncle who actually had ignited the fuel of literature inside me. I kept myself busy with the books. I kept myself busy with writing and so many other things. In that year, in 2016, I kept memorizing the questions a lot. I was very much interested in that very thing. I wanted to become a topper. I wanted to become a topper because I want to gain the respect in my society. My uncle told me that the respect is everything. So I wanted to gain it in my society. I wanted people to respect me. I run after it in that very year. And so I kept working hard. I'm accepting here one thing, that in that very year, teachers did not respect me. Teachers did thought that I am the most dullest person ever being alive in this world. But when I participated in the exam, when the result came, everyone was shocked because I was a topper in my class. Okay, I was a topper. I had secured 373 marks in that very year.
Out of
And sir,
300, how many marks and out of?
Out of 500, sir.
In your 10th class?
Yes, sir. 373.
Oh, great. You got distinction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was. I think. Yeah. I got distinction. To what I was saying. Yeah. Then everyone applauded me. Everyone praised me. So you could just imagine how it has influenced me. You could just imagine how it has inspired me. All these things had inspired me a lot. People came to my home. People came to visit my friends, and they gave me some money. They offered me some money. It really was a very most beautiful experience of my life. I had never such an experience in my life. This was the first time I was feeling something strange. I was feeling something extraordinary. It hadn't happened before to me before. Okay, and in the next year, I think it was 2017. In the next year, I once again became the topper because of my consistency, because of my hard work, because of my dedication. I once again became the topper, and I had acquired 406 marks in 11th class too. Okay, So this success also impelled me that I must not stop now. I must have this dedication till the end of my life. Okay. And in the next year, 2000, in 12th class, okay, I once again stood top in my class. I had acquired 430 marks, 86 percentage out of 500. This was a time when I literally got changed.
Just 1 second. Okay, continue. Just 1 second. Okay, continue.
Yes, sir. This was a period when I literally got very much changed. It was a period of my transformation. Okay, in 12th class, before appearing the examination, I felt very much ill. I was affected by very dangerous disease, typhoid. And during the examination, I was going through this. 1 minute, sir. During the examination, I was going through this disease, and I felt very much afraid because what one could expect from me if I was getting through this disease, that I would do the fail in my examination. It was expected by my parents that I would just fail. I prayed to Allah that He must help me so that I would pass. I would just pass this examination. I wasn't able to write down the answers to the questions in my exam, in my answer sheet because of because of the disease. Okay, in which I was. But when the results came, I came to know that I am the topper, and this was the most extraordinary experience that I had ever felt before that time. And then in the next year, I joined the government degree college Shopian. I took English literature, and when I took English literature, I felt that I won't be able to study this because there were so many poems, there were so many novels, there were so many dramas that were just confounded. Okay, I was not able to understand or comprehend anything out of them. I was not able to get anything out of them. So I asked to one of my teachers there who was teaching us. I asked him that how could you be the professor? How you became the professor? Okay, how you became the professor? I told him everything. That's why I'm going through this stage. I'm very much afraid. I want to give up. I don't want to go on. I just want to leave this college work here too, because this literature is very difficult for me. I really can't understand anything out of it. I really can't get anything what you are saying here in the classroom, what my friends are saying, or what are the books saying to me. I really can't understand these things.
Okay,
But
continue.
but Alhamdulillah, we were only 5 students in our class. Four girls, and I was only boy student in my class. They were not, seeming too much intelligent than me, and this was the thing that has just, kept me going. They were not very much intelligent. They were not that sort of people which one could expect that literature students usually are. Okay, and this thing kept me going. Okay, I started working. I thought that if Yunus sir, he is our professor there, if Yunus sir has become the professor, so why can't I be? I will also be the one. And it was actually Yunus sir who ignited the fuel of literature inside. He told me that I must go to Facebook, I must share the poetry there, and he actually told me that I must write poetry. I started writing on the poetry, and the first poems that I did that I did write down were not very good. They were not of high quality. Okay, but with the passage of time, I got the insistence. I got something. I got that I am getting a good flow. I felt that I'm getting a good flow, and it was very much appreciated and well liked among the readers. And today I feel that this is a very long journey. I don't want to say everything about the college days. Okay, today I feel that books are very important. Reading increases Reading increases the capacity of your mind. Okay, it advances the corners of your mind. It just extends the dimensions of your mind. Without reading, if you are not keeping yourself occupied with reading, one will be a dull-minded person. Okay, if a person will not occupy himself with the reading, with the books, or with the study material, okay, he'll be the dullest person in the present world. Because I have come to know that Satan is there in our society. Okay, he keeps attacking you. He is always ready to get the means to get the tricks to play upon you. Okay, and when you are just occupied with reading, when you are busy with reading, he's not able to do anything to you because you are in another world. Okay, your mind is occupied and busy with something. He can't change it. But suppose when you are not
Agree.
reading anything, when you're not reading anything, when you are not, busy with the books, when you don't look at the books, your mind is wandering, just only wandering. It's not fixed on any particular object. It is just wandering. Okay, it becomes very easy for Saturn to change it. It becomes very easy for Saturn to make it fixed upon any illegal thing. Okay, because it is not fixed. When your mind is not fixed upon anything, Saturn just fixes it upon an illegal thing. It is a very most beautiful trick for a most important trick for Saturn, that he first of all takes you away from books, because books keep you occupied. They compel you. They act as a magnet. They attract you towards them. But Saturn takes you away from them. Why he takes you away from them? Because he knows that once you get involved with the books, once you get in touch with the books, your mind will be occupied. Then it will be difficult for him to change your mind. Okay, there is a noise there, I think.
Yeah, you are audible. You are visible as well as audible.
Okay, thank you. So I'm saying that a person has to be occupied. A person has to be in touch with the books, because I think this will keep him away from doing sins and evil that are so
आवाज तक कम
manifest, that so prevalent, that's so dominant in our
आवाज
lives.
तक कम
This is the importance. This is the first importance of books that I have just pointed out here. So, do you want to
yeah
say anything
you
about?
right you shared so much valuable information regarding reading, as well as the stages through you have been passed, and you struggled a lot when once you went to college, you got admission there, and you struggled a lot because you were not able to understand exactly what exactly the literature is. With the help of your tutor and with the help of your confidence, day by day your confidence has grown up, and then you became confident, and after that you found your friends that they are not understanding the literature as the way you are. So
Yes,
it made you motivated to go on, and you didn't lose your hope. That's the great thing.
so I
that's a
think.
great that's a
So
great
I think.
learning that's a great learning lesson for the students who are choosing English literature as the graduation subject. So I think they should learn from you that you were the beginner, they are the beginners. Every beginner is one day he will become a successful person. This is what I believe in.
Yes,
That you were thinking that that you will give up, but somehow day by day it became very easy for you to understand what exactly the dramas, novels, stories and all. And your tutor was there, professor was there to support you. And apart from that, you learned from students that they cannot compete with me when they are happy with the literature. Why I'm not? So you that motivated you to go on. And then the second motivation for you was that when your tutor Yunus sir became professor, why not you? So you asked a great question to yourself. This same question goes to other students that they are choosing the literature. They should ask this question when their professor is he became the master of this English literature. Why not we? What's the problem with us? So have a firm belief. You showed your trust upon yourself. You showed the confidence. You have been motivated, and and the second, one of the most beautiful thing you showed is that you worked hard to motivate
thanks.
yourself to go to you carried on. You never lose your hope. Once you fixed your mind that I need to go, and you went for that way. So that's a great thing. A person in the when he's a beginner in any process of the world, in any stage of the world, first of all it looks to him in the beginning that's a very difficult road. I cannot go ahead. There is not so support from someone. This a new field is not experienced. Every new field is not experienced by anyone. It's a person who then gets experience once he goes through that road, through that track, or through that stage. Every new stage is a totally different. You are not experienced, you are not well aware about the do's and don'ts of that field. But somehow you should not lose hope in the beginning. You should just keep going yourself with the time. And inshallah, with the time, your experience, your do's don'ts, your knowledge, and your motivation for that goes on increasing. So that was a great learning lesson for me, for other
Yes,
students,
sir.
for the way they
One
are.
another thing,
Yes, you want to add something, go on.
one another thing that I want to add here, that it's it. I'm very much happy and glad that today I have been audible to you and you can understand every point that I had stated here recently.
Yeah, definitely. I love your the way of talking. I love your way of talking. And in
Actually,
last
this
session,
this sentence, this
I
sentence,
request you to be little bit slow, so that I can get every point of yours.
this,
So I
this
you
sentence
became,
that I did make right now,
yeah, you slow,
this sentence that I had,
you reduced your speed. That's the reason I understood you in a proper way.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So so if you want
This
me to
last
add
sentence that
some,
I did make here is the
yes,
way I talk. I mean, this last sentence that I have just made here is the way I usually talk because
yes,
it has become my habit. It's my, I'm accustomed to speak so fastly with the Africans. Okay, there are so many friends of
okay,
me there.
okay. Let me,
My poetry is being, read there on the radio platform, and sometimes they call me, they do video call me on WhatsApp, and I'm getting in touch with them. They speak so fastly, and I also speak fastly because I want to be a fast speaker. And in why do, if you can if you want to be a good, if you want to have a good accent, if you want a perfect accent, if you want a good speaker, then you have to speak fastly. If you want to have a perfect accent, then you have to speak fastly. Speaking slowly will not make your accent perfect. Okay, this is my request for you. If you want to have perfect accent, if you want to be a fluent speaker, if you want to have a flow automatically, if you want to have a natural flow, then you have to speak fastly. You know, یہِ سا ووٚن تۄہہِ کٲشِر پٲٹھۍ اکھ کتھ ییٚلہِ أسۍ مطلب پننٮ۪ن گرِکٮ۪ن سۭتۍ کٲنٛسہِ سۭتۍ چھِ أسۍ کتھ کران وٕنکٮ۪ن بہٕ چھُس وٕنکٮ۪ن کٲشِر پٲٹھۍ تۄہہِ سۭتۍ کتھ کران بہٕ چھُس نہٕ پننٮ۪ن
bilkul bilkul
الفاظن کُن سونٛچان بہٕ چھُس صرف تۄہہِ پٮ۪ٹھ وٕنکٮ۪ن فوکس کٔرِتھ اگر بہٕ
bilkul
پننٮ۪ن
bilkul.
الفاظن کُن وٕنکٮ۪ن تہِ سونٛچہِ
تۄہہِ
بہٕ
ما
ہٮ۪کہٕ
گژھِ
نہٕ
پَتہٕ
کتھ
سپیٖڈ
کٔرِتھ
کم.
yes sir بہٕ ہٮ۪کہٕ نہٕ تیٚلہِ کتھ کٔرِتھ کینٛہہ so when we are speaking slowly when we are trying to be slow we begin to think about the words we begin to think about the words but when you speak fastly they come automatically there's no we can say there's no exert upon them hours there's no hours exert on them it just flows automatically it becomes a natural flow when you speak fastly but when you try to be slow you begin to think about the words you begin to think about your thought you begin to think about your tongue you begin to think about your attitude as well that's I think the most horrible thing that we must shun as soon as possible but nowadays I will be trying to be slow because we have to learn something we have to we are here to acquire knowledge we are here to have our to have the dimensions of our mind extended we want to extend the dimensions of your mind and that's why we have to be slow here but this is actually not a good way to follow as far as I'm concerned because while speaking fastly you can have a perfect accent that's my experience I think.
Oh yes, you have your, you have different way of understanding how to learn communication skills, how your fluency has become fast. Yeah,
every person
you
every
proved,
person you know
you have proved your experience as the way you tried, and you have been successful in that. So that is the reason you are sure that the way that you give the
yes sir
suggestions, you give your
I'm sure of
ideas,
it
it is because that
yeah
helped for you, right?
yes sir
Yes,
that is
but
that helped me a lot.
yes, but
That is helping a lot. Actually, it was one of my friends from Australia who told me that I must speak fastly. And when I asked him why, sir, why I must speak so fastly, he told me that while speaking fastly, you don't care about yourself. You'll be caring about the idea. You'll be caring about another person. You'll be caring about the object of your talk. Okay, that's I think a great thing. That's great. Suppose we will take an example. There is a stream. Okay, there is a stream running down. If the water will take care of the stones if the water will take care of its speed and the stones, will
that
it
it will not
flow?
have, it will not flow.
It will not be flowing so beautifully. It will not be flowing naturally. Okay. It will not reach to its destination on the time. So it has to follow. Whatever is on the way, it has to follow. That's my experience.
Great. Yeah,
You
yeah,
can, yes, sir, you have to agree with the point
you have
because
shared a great example. You definitely will become professor, because professors are the persons who make people understand through examples. So you give good examples. I want you to keep it up, to mention every time you mention examples, so that your topic, so that your discussion will become easy, so that audience our
Yes, sir.
listeners can, understand better with the help of
Yes, sir.
examples. I want you to keep it up so that
Me
you are
too.
very good in
And it
giving
very effective for
examples.
us, and
But
it
at
will help
this,
you a lot, inshallah.
but at the same time, I want to add one or two points. See,
Okay,
first
sir.
of all, is actually it depends. Learning communication skills depends upon person to person, right? if i
Yes,
if
sir.
i if I talk about myself, I will not be happy if I speak fast. It is because I don't like it. So it depends upon a person to person. I want to, whatever I say, I want that people should understand it clearly, and I will be myself happy when nobody will request me either you are fast, either you are slow. I want be to as the way I will be happy. So it's a different way of understanding. Yours is right. I'm not criticizing that way, but my if I talk about myself, if I talk about my experience, I'm always having this thing in mind whenever I get a chance to speak to someone in English. So first of all, my priority is to make things clear. So there's a proverb that don't beat the bush. So come straight, talking straightforward, talking straight point, not here
We
and
always
there.
had to be
Yes,
straightforward. We
not to
have always had to be
not to
straightforward
mention
and plain.
not to mention stories. I just come directly on
Mm.
the topic. So my
Okay, okay, that's good.
every time my interest is to, whenever there is an speaker in front of me, I try to be so much straightforward with that person regarding that topic. I want to do justify with that topic also.
Good way to.
And at the same time, I want that I should use some words. I should use my language in that way so that he can understand better, so that audience can also like it. They will enjoy it and they can give feedback. Because when you slow your speed, because we are in that environment where nobody can understand you when you are so fast, because we are, this not our mother tongue. You have to be slow. It
Yeah,
is my way
really
of
appreciate
understanding.
it. Really,
You may be
really
fast.
appreciate it.
You
Really,
may be fast in English country. You may not be fast in the, if I talk about the culture in Kashmir, and that too in South
whatever,
Shopian. Let me complete. I will give a
whatever.
chance. I will then
Yes, sir.
give you chance again. And
Okay, sir.
so I am having this thing in mind when I used to talk to you. I'm having this thing in mind that somebody else is also going to listen it. Somebody else is going to watch it. He may learn something from it, and he's from that background. It's not an English background. It's not a country, in English country we are living in. We are discussing in Kashmir. So we have to keep this thing in mind. And what the people of Kashmir, maybe you may be fast when you are speaking to someone outside. I mean, he may be the, maybe he belongs to background, English background, or a country where is their native language is English, but our native language is Kashmiri. And then we are fluent in
Good.
Urdu, but English is it's a global language. I cannot deny. We studied lots many books only in English, but still we don't have a habit to speak in English. So better, in my way, if I am going to suggest to someone, if I am going to give suggestions to someone, I will tell him, I will advise him that whenever you speak to someone, be slow, so that you yourself will become gradually understandable. You yourself gradually can understand the words better. Your pronunciation will be better, so that you will not be short of words. You will not use filler. I mean, some people say, repeatedly. Some filler is there when you go on fast. Yours is different. I already told you in previous sessions. But when I get a chance to speak to someone in Kashmir, they use a lot of filler. They say, I went there, you know, I did this, so repetition. So that distracts it. That's not making it interesting. But when they are fast, once they are slow, they will not use filler. They will be watching what the words they are using. They have to keep this thing in mind, that they speak only about topic. They speak
Yes, sir.
straightforward. They should not go here and there. And audience, listeners, watch them, follow them, and get their advice properly, understanding them properly. When we are, for example, I requested you to be slow, because I know what the background, my friends, my students are
Sorry.
here. They cannot understand you. When they are
Yes, sir.
when they are not going to understand you, they will not watch your videos or my videos. The purpose is to
Yeah.
make them understand things. We already know what we are
Yes.
going to do. You have your way of doing things. I have my own way of doing things. But when we are using any platform, when we have this intention in mind that somebody else can learn something, then we have to be talking in that way so that he
Inshallah.
can learn also, right?
Yes, sir.
I hope you agree
Whatever you
with
have
my
been
point.
saying. Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Whatever, whatever.
You want to say something? Okay.
Whatever you have, whatever you have said here is really appreciated by me, because our society is not, from that category.
Yes.
It's, we can say there's much of illiteracy, okay, and people
Right.
are not able to understand English properly. And
Right.
if anybody is having some hold on English language, he is not able to understand the English of Europeans. He's not able to understand the English of Americans, and this is a really big point that you have made here.
No.
And
One more thing I want to add. When the first time you wrote your book, right? Then
yes, sir.
some of my friends, they are doing this. Their profession is press. So the some people have taken your interview. It was your first interview when it came in the social media. So I watched that interview. I was in the first instance, I couldn't understand a single word. Believe me. I
Yes, you
thought, what's
told
the
me.
problem?
You told me
Yeah.
at every time that you were unable
Yes,
to understand anything,
you were
and then
so
you made.
fast, you were so fast. Then I thought that if I am English knowing person, but I couldn't understand how can an ordinary person, ordinary student, they can understand you. Interview
Yes,
should be in. So I requested you. Maybe I have already told you this thing, that
yes, sir, yes,
when I watched your interview, you cannot believe. Uh, your interview, I watched it three times. After the third time, I began to understand full interview. That was exactly
yes,
your messages,
you
exactly
told me the
what
same
what
thing
what
at
you
every
talked
time
about.
you had watched an interview.
Yeah, you talked about your book. You talked about the inspiration from Rasul Mir, Kashmiri poet. You talked about the
Yes,
the struggle you have been passed through. But I could understand every word after I watched your interview. After third time, I became understandable. Your video became easy
yes,
for me. But after three times I listened to your video, I watched your video. So I thought then you are a great speaker, but you need to polish your speaking, because you are giving interview to people of Kashmir. So people of Kashmir will understand when you have to be slow. You have to be talking in their way, as the way they are making mere understanding. You have to mention, you have to keep your interview in their way so that they can understand you. So maybe in the beginning,
yes, sir.
nobody has, because I love you, I revere you, I respect your contribution. So it's become my responsibility to guide you wherever I have some experience. I just have to share that experience with you. So
Sure.
when I know this thing, that the people of Kashmir have to watch my video, or my message goes to them, I have to talk in that way. I have to make things simple for them so that they can get my message. Once they are aware that what exactly my intention is, what my goal is, what my message is, they will follow me automatically, because they know what exactly he is going to do. So that,
Yes,
that
sir.
was that was I realized when I watched your interview. I i called many people up there in your village that you give me Abid Gulzar's contact number. Somehow I got your contact number, then I contacted you, and then I contacted the persons who have taken your interview. I asked them, when you asked the question to Abid Gulzar, why not you stopped him? Why not there was something from your side? It was only Abid Gulzar was speaking. Why not you were interfering? Is that way of taking interview?
Yeah.
Why not you are learning? When you are in your profession, you need to learn something. You need to how to question a person.
Conduct
You
an
asked him
interview. Yes.
simple questions. He started and he never stopped. You should have stopped him. You should have asked him why. What was the reason you have written this book? Who is the who is the reader that you want to read that book? What is the inspiration and all? So you mentioned by yourself. They didn't ask to you these questions. So I thought that they need to learn first their profession in a best way. When there is a person, he's entering in any profession, he has to learn
It
do's
is
and
as
don'ts
clear.
of that profession. He need to be
It is as
professional. What we say that he's a professional. We can call a person a professional do when he can do justify with his profession, when he know what to ask, what to answer, what is the content. They were without content. They went to take they took taken your interview, but I didn't find any paper, any piece of paper with them. What they are going to ask? They were just, they heard the news, you wrote the book, they went and taken your interview. So I
yes,
then,
actually.
because they are my students, if they would have been different, I would not have bothered. As they are my students, I want them to be perfect, how to ask the
Yes,
questions. Then I
actually.
asked them
Actually,
that you conducted the interview again, then I will teach you how to ask the questions. how to stop him, how to request him to be slow, how
Okay.
the how your interview can become interesting, how many people can watch your video, that it will, publicly it will go on and on, it will become familiar. But speaker, and you are, he's a writer, he's not professional in media. You are from media, you need to be professional. Abid Gulzar does not need to be professional in media, he's a writer, he need to be professional in writing. So when I ask,
Yes.
when I, make when I get a chance uh, to speak to them, I always speak them that be professional, learn everything of the media, learn how to take interview of great personalities, or whatever, any person who is a great person because of his contributions. First, to make a content, what they are going to ask, what exactly the person belongs to, what is his background, what is his educational background, what is his family background. First, come with details. Well, once you have the full detail about that person, then go for the interview, then fix the appointment for him, then request him to give us appointment, and
Yeah, actually,
then keep this thing in
sorry.
mind, who is going to watch our video, then ask the relevant
Yes, sir.
questions. So because
Yeah.
it's my responsibility that once you are in any profession, you
Yes,
need
sir.
to be professional, you need to
Correct.
learn
They
things,
are.
skills.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
They are to be changed. And at that very time, they did ask me the questions, but in Urdu language. Okay. And in the evening, when they uploaded my video on social media, I couldn't understand why they had cut their questions. They had asked me the questions, but they did cut it. When I called them and asked them for the same, they told me that you were talking English and we asked you the questions in Urdu. So we were a little bit ashamed. That's why we couldn't share it on social media.
Yeah, that great. It's a genuine point. They have told you that they asked questions to you in Urdu and you replied in English. So that was
Yes,
not,
sir.
that
Yeah.
was
In
not
that,
matching. That was not
yeah,
matching.
yeah.
That was not professionalism they have shown. They are my students, and then I criticized them that you should learn something. If you are in media industry, you need the skills. You need the skills how to be in the media group, how to
Had
be in the
received a
media.
call. Then
Yes.
they had received a call from Kashmiri Crown, and Kashmiri Crown has told them that they must conduct another interview, and it must be in Urdu. Okay, are you listening to me?
Yes, yes, you
Yeah.
are audible.
Conduct another interview with me, but it must be in Urdu. Okay. I told them, no, 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 I won't be able to speak in Urdu because my Urdu is not my forte, it's my weakest. Me and I will ask again, I will give you the answers in English. But they said, no, 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 we won't be able to do that thing. They then didn't come to my home. It says something. Okay, so now
Yes.
yes, sir. We're moving towards another question. Okay, the
Yeah.
question, my question is, what's the difference